Family and Consumer Science.
Mr.Greenland's podcast.
Let's learn facts.
Feet on the floor, back straight, never bow to your plate. Chew with your mouth closed, chew with your mouth closed. Get your elbows off the table, this ain't a horse table.
Hello, everybody. My name's Mr. G. Welcome to Family and Consumer Science Television. What a show we have today. We're going to do food handling information or quiz part one. Along with me today, I have a culinary enthusiast and an awesome human being, Mr. John Webb, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. John Webb, want to kind of introduce yourself?
Sure. Yeah, thank you. It's an honor to be here. I am the student assistance counselor at Goffstown High School, which means that I don't have a caseload like A through C or D through F. I have all the students at the high school, but only when on a scale of 1 to 10, you or a friend or a peer is at like a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 around stress, anxiety, depression, anger issues. I work with all kinds of emotional issues and see kids. Sometimes I only see them a couple times. Sometimes I see them all year. And my door is almost always open. And so please come down and say hi and make a time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. For those not going to the high school, mental health is always a challenge, keeping a positive attitude. But I think there's nothing more, a little brick in the wall of being mindful is talking about family and consumer science. So, everyone, here we go. Mr. John Webb will be going along with us. Please number your paper. Now, 1 through 23. 1 through 23. And while you're doing that, this is Mr. Greenland, or Mr. G, I like to be called. Welcome to the new school year. I'm excited. We're about a week away. Myself and John, he was nice enough to come down here to the studio. And so the idea is to write all the answers down. Mr. Webb will be telling us his choice. And you, of course, can choose any of your choices. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Number 1, what is your first name? Number 1, what is your first name? Number 2, surprisingly, what is your second name?
Or last.
Oh, I'm sorry, your second name. Oh, look at that. I was trying to be so professional. Number 2, what is your last name? Thank you, John. Number 3, what period are you taking this class? What period are you taking this class right now? Okay. What period are you taking this class? Number 4, why is food handling so important? Boy, that's a very good question. Why do we want to have good food handling? Number 1, to prevent and stop foodborne illness in contaminating our food. Or number 2, to eat anything and assume that it will not get you sick. So
I've got an answer for that, Mr.
Yep.
G. I'm going with number 1.
Number 1, could you read that back, please?
I didn't write the question down. I just wrote down number 1.
Number 5.
It's number 4.
Right. We're on to number 5. Okay. Identify the 5 most common risk factors in keeping food safe. Okay? Is it to keep food safe, what's a risk factor? Purchasing ingredients from unsafe sources, holding foods at the wrong temperature, poor hygiene, using contaminated tools and equipment, and improper cooking of food, or buying all your food at a local certified supermarket.
I'm going with number 2, buying all your food at a certified local supermarket.
The most common risk factors. Is it risky going to a supermarket, John? I don't think you're quite understanding the question.
I think you're right.
Okay, identify the most 5 common risk of when you're purchasing food, Sue. You're trying to keep them safe.
Oh, you hadn't finished the question. I'm sorry.
Okay. Purchasing ingredients from unsafe sources. Let's everybody write that down. That's bad. Holding foods at the wrong temperature. That's bad.
Yeah.
Poor hygiene. That's bad.
bad.
Using contaminated tools. That's bad. And using equipment that you haven't cleaned. That's bad.
Right.
So those are, that is the correct
Unhealthy,
answer.
yeah. So.
Unhealthy. Kind of a trick question on that, but I think you got it. Number 6. How you feeling, John?
I'm getting in the zone.
Okay, here we go. When a food service worker avoids personal behaviors that can contaminate foods, or on the other hand, when a food service worker is doing everything right, he's avoiding doing something wrong. What is he doing, or are they doing? Are they practicing good, proper hygiene, or spreading foodborne illness?
So when they are doing things right, they are practicing good hygiene.
Excellent. Very good. And we all should be practicing good hygiene, especially in the kitchen. Number 7.
Yes.
Number 7. Which of the following techniques you should do to wash your hands? A. Use a garden hose out back and a heavy chemical degreaser. B. Wet arms, apply soap. Scrub for 15 seconds, rinse arm, and dry arms and hands.
I'm going to go with B, rinse arms with soap.
Correct. And what's the big thing on it? What number is that, John, as far as how long you should wash your hands for?
15 seconds.
Correct.
I heard that.
Correct.
I heard you say that. Yep.
Very good. Very good. Number 8. A foodborne illness, also known as an FBI, can be caused by cross-contamination. When can cross-contamination occur? Okay? Mr. G just went like this, I put food on there. Have I cross-contaminated over?
You have.
Okay, so how cross-contamination happens, number 8, is it A, food touch contaminated surfaces right before being served? Dirty, unwashed towels are used to clean surfaces. That's 2. Those both are bad.
Yes.
Right. So correct.
Both
Both
bad.
of those. Have you ever been to a restaurant and you come to the table and it's still kind of wet and it doesn't like? Yeah, that's bad practices. Let me jump away from this letter. I just recently went to Cowabunga's with my granddaughter, and I noticed when they sprayed down the tables, which they did frequently where you were eating and watching your grandkiddo or your kiddos there, they put a little sign up, and it said, this table may be wet because we just sanitized it. And then they came around after and pulled it off. I was a big fan.
Good procedure.
Good. And I also had a gluten-free pizza at Cowabunga's, and John, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible.
That's great, and it sounds like it's time to take it out of the oven.
Okay,
Here we go.
which is our cue for. Could you explain that while I go to the next one?
That is that we are done with the question because the food is cooked.
Yeah, and we start rambling. We want to move along.
Yeah.
So we say the food is cooked or take it out of the oven.
Take it out of the oven.
Thank you. Are we on number 9, sir?
We are on number 9.
Big term in culinary, John. Cross-contamination. We just sort of talked about it. What is cross-contamination? Is it A, the spread of bacteria or pathogens from one thing or to another, or is it B, plating different foods on different plates?
So cross-contamination would be A.
The spread of bacteria.
Bacteria.
Right. I've seen this a few times I've just say this as a glass. I've seen, you don't want to hand somebody a glass like this. Here, John, would you like something to drink?
No thanks.
What has just happened there? I'm crossing the germs from my hand to John. I think it's done. I'll move on.
Yes, very good.
I even corrected myself. Number 10. Number 10, sir?
Number 10.
Number 10. Okay. The temperature zone.
We all love that temperature zone.
You love the temperature zone of 41 degrees to 135 degrees. What is that known as? Now, the refrigerator should be at 32 degrees to 40 degrees, your refrigerator.
Yes.
right below freezing. So if your food is out of the
Right above
refrigerator,
freezing.
if your refrigerator is at 41 degrees and above,
Yes.
what is that known as?
Is
That's
this
a
multiple choice, or do I just say
multiple
the
choice.
spoil zone or
The
something
temperature danger zone,
like that? That's it. The temperature danger zone.
the Tom Brady zone,
No.
the temperature in zone.
Danger zone.
Temperature danger
Yes.
zone, yes. Temperature danger zone is when food sits out.
The TDZ.
TDZ.
Yeah.
Okay, that's big. All very good talking points that Mr. G will be talking about endlessly during class. But these are things that we should
For
know.
safety.
We're doing good. Number 11, food has been left in the temperature danger zone. The TDZ, John.
Yes.
What has it been subject to? What has your food been subject to?
Oh.
Time temperature abuse? The Bill Belichick abuse?
No. It's
Or the temperature zoo?
I'm going with A.
Time temperature abuse.
Abuse.
It makes sense, though. You're abusing
TT.
the time and temperature. Sounds a little rough, but time temperature abuse is what happens. Okay. Moving along to number 12.
Correct.
You guys are doing great. We're more than halfway done. Let some of this culinary knowledge and family consumer science get into you. One example of proper sanitation. Mr. John Webb.
Yes,
What's
sir.
a good example of cross-contamination? Washing, rinsing, and sanitizing all contact surfaces between use as needed.
No, that's not cross-contamination.
Right. The
that
question
one,
is, one example of proper or good.
Ooh, good ways to deal with not having cross-contamination.
Correct.
Is that answer.
So let's write that. Washing dishes, rinsing and sanitizing your dishes, cleaning all the contact things that come into your food, like cutting boards and knives. Yeah.
In between
In
yes.
between uses.
uses, right?
Right. So you can't leave something to cut like steak up or hamburger out for a while and then go and put fish on there. No. Number 13. I'm very proud of you, Mr. Webb. I'm very proud of the producer, Kyle. And more importantly, I think I'm proud of myself for moving this along and trying to make it entertaining.
Very good.
13. Food contact surfaces like cutting boards can be sanitized by which method? All right.
The hottest dishwasher you got with soap.
Using approved chemical solution and using hot water at above 110 degrees.
Yes.
Correct. Right off the top, the other ones will use a floor cleaner
No.
and wash in cold water. No.
Yeah,
So
bad
the
idea.
answer is using approved chemicals and making sure that
Let me write that one down.
and making sure that your water is hot if you can. Number 14.
14.
Time temperature abuse. Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go, the TTA.
TTA. Time temperature abuse can happen when? Check all that apply.
Oh boy.
Woo!
Let me
All right.
get my pen.
All right. So, to avoid time temperature abuse. No. Time temperature abuse can happen when
When?
foods are not held at proper temperatures.
That's correct.
B. Foods are not cooled properly.
Also correct.
C. Foods are held at proper temperatures.
No, that's good. We want that.
So,
So 1 and 2.
1 and 2, yeah. We'll get some more of the temperatures of what you should be holding food at as we go through
Very
this.
good.
And cooling your food is very important too. But I want to make sure we have enough time. 15.
15.
And which part of the flow of food is food safety the biggest concern? Flow of food meaning prepping it, buying it, cooking it,
Yes.
serving it.
Yes.
Okay? When is it most dangerous that you may contaminate your food, John? When you are purchasing your food, receiving your food, and storing your food? Or is it more prevalent when you are prepping, cooking, reheating, and serving your food?
That's number 3, Mr. G. The prepping, serving.
Correct. So that
And,
would be number 2.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Number 1 would be purchasing, receiving, and
I
storing.
see.
It is dangerous. You could do that wrong, purchasing and receiving and storing. But when you're prepping, cooking, reheating, and serving, ooh.
Yeah.
Woo! Mr. Webb, Mr. John Webb,
Yes, sir.
thank
16.
you so much for coming. We're
16.
at number 16.
16.
We're rallying through.
I have an idea.
Yes.
Hold on.
Bing.
Bing. For your students,
Mm-hmm.
it would be really good if we could make sure we get the A, complete the question, and then or B, complete the question, so that they know it's not like 3 different things.
Okay. Have I been doing that a little bit?
Sometimes,
Okay.
yeah. The last one you didn't, and I got like, oh, I thought you had 3 choices
Okay.
there. So
Okay. After touching that fabulous locks of hair that you have and wishing I had some, after you're touching your hair, John, scratching the skin, rubbing the face, a food service worker must take a selfie.
A, take a selfie.
B, put on a new pair of gloves.
I'm going with B, Mr. G. You've got to. Maybe you could do the selfie beforehand and then. But phones are pretty dirty, so I'm going to go with B.
Phones are disgustingly. We'll be complaining and talking about phone usage throughout the entire semester. I'm not anti-phone. I'm just anti-phones at wrong times.
You're
It's like anything else.
anti-cross-contamination.
Yes,
And
indeed.
phones are a
Number
big
17. Number
Yes,
17. A food service worker can use sanitizer, hand sanitizer, in replace of washing your hands. A, true. B, false.
I'm going with B, that washing your hands is the most important.
Yes, very good. You must wash your hands. Is hand sanitizer good to use regularly? Absolutely.
In addition to.
In addition to. Correct. 18. When can food be contaminated? When can food be contaminated? Accidentally. Sometimes somebody might
Yep.
sneeze on it, or
Yep, that's
you
true.
don't know. But during the process of manufacturing, can food be contaminated at the factory or at the farm?
It sure could.
From chemicals or physical hazards.
Yep.
Let's say a piece of strand came off a uniform and it got into the
Or somebody bleached a little too close to your chicken Alfredo.
chicken Alfredo, so good.
know, so
From poor personal hygiene and
Yes.
bad food handling,
Yes, all
and
of the above.
A, B, C, D, E, all of the above.
Oh, there it is. E.
All of the above. Can I get a hallelujah? Can I get a clear mind is a happy mind? Can I get a sanitary plate is a happy plate?
Cleanliness is godliness, Mr. G.
Food contaminants.
Number 19.
Food contaminants. My fabulous students, and of course, Mr. Webb. What's a food contaminant? Here we go.
Okay.
Biological, A. B, chemical. C, physical. E, environmental. D, A, B, C, D, E, all of the above.
All of the above again.
Biological, chemical, physical, environmental hazards, all are important when you're around food. And if I had some time, we would talk about that. And how are you doing for time, oh great producer Kyle?
10 minutes.
Huh?
10 more minutes.
Oh, okay. All right. We're gonna
We're cruising.
pull it back. Let's talk about biological, chemical, and
Oh, all right
environmental
then.
hazards. What would be a biological hazard in the kitchen? Biological.
Biological hazard might be, like mouse hairs, which would really be gross. But it'd be from the biological function of
Mold.
a mouse.
Mold, perhaps.
Mold could be chemical or biological.
What? How about a chemical hazard?
Like I said, like too much bleach near your prep food.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. What about chewing gum? Could that be a hazard? What's bad about chewing gum?
Chewing gum. The problem with that is droplets can sometimes come out.
Correct. A physical hazard?
Physical hazard. You could sit on your pie and it would be ruined.
Floor could be loose. You could trip on it. Tile.
You could. Yeah, you could
be
spill your whole
leaking.
Alfredo. That would be.
You're really into the Alfredo right now.
Well,
I don't blame you.
You should be too, because otherwise, what are you so afraid of?
Environmental hazard.
Environmental. Oh, that would be like if you left it out in the sun.
Yes.
And the potato salad in the sun.
And
you
there we
boys and
go
girls.
again, back to the time.
Put it in the fridge.
To the timing and stuff. There are, as we get through this on section number 2 of this fun and exciting thing, we're going to be talking more about how long you can keep foods out past the food danger zone. I hope everything's coming together now. I think it kind of is. Let's go to number 20.
Very good.
Number 20. An example of a corrective action for time temperature abuse. Wow, that's multi-layered. So what that means is, if you have some food and the food you think may have started going bad, what could you do?
Throw that away.
A, discard the food.
Yes.
B, cook the bacteria out of it.
No.
AKA the 5-second rule.
I would throw it away.
If something falls on the ground, class, no matter how horrible, Mr. G may go, oh my God, my food budget, you're wasting food, I can't believe it. I'm fine. When in doubt,
Throw it out.
throw it out. Okay? If something hits the ground, I don't care if it's 1 second, 5 seconds, 10 seconds. The bacteria on the floor, as soon as it hits it, it's on there.
There it is.
Okay? Super important. So that would be A, discard the
Yes,
food.
immediately.
Number 21.
21.
Wow. Okay. 21. Preventing time temperature abuse. Preventing time temperature abuse. Preventing time.
Not correcting,
temperature.
preventing.
How are you going to prevent it? Are you going to A, keep track of holding temperatures and holding times? B, use a proper working thermometer, an internal food thermometer, which we are going to get into a lot. Or ABC, taking corrective actions as needed. D, all of the above.
Well, if the corrective action is if it's spoiled, throw it out, then D, all of the above.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Don't try to reheat it.
No.
Yeah.
And keeping track of how long your food's been there, too. Restaurants would, any restaurant's worth its salt would have, when they prepare something, let's say bread, and they have it under the warmer, they would have the time that they made it and the time it should be thrown out. Using proper working thermometer.
Yes. Very important.
We're going to be talking about internal thermometers next
Class?
lesson. And taking corrective actions. That's a good way to avoid it. Number 22. 22. The correct concentration for bleach. There's a couple different ways you can make sanitizing solution inexpensively.
Yes.
One is to fill a 16-ounce spray bottle up with water and put in a drop of bleach, or 50 to 99 parts per millionth. That is the answer. That is the correct answer.
That's correct. 50,
Okay.
50,
Or you can take some lemon juice, and it's about a half a teaspoon per. It's about a half a teaspoon for every 16 ounces. And the acid and the acidicness and the smell of that lemon cleans very well.
No, it doesn't. Not like the bleach does.
Correct.
Yeah.
But
It does smell nice, though.
vinegar is also used.
Yeah.
Some vinegar is also used. But from talking to people over the many years, I actually, during a teacher's conference one year,
Oh.
a gentleman came in, he said had something to do, he knew a lot about science, so he said. And he said the only real true cleaner is bleach, because he says whatever a covalent bond is.
Oh, yes.
Do you know what a covalent bond is?
It has to do with the molecules of the
and
food
I guess
and the surface.
that is the
Yeah.
only true chemical.
Right, biology students?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it's a very small amount. One part per
yeah.
1 millionth, or in this one,
Yes.
50 to 99
50 to
parts.
99 is the correct answer.
It works really well. How much does it cost to spray at a store? $3, $4, $5?
Maybe 5, yeah.
Yeah, that's a big savings over time.
Buy in bulk, kids.
Number 20,
3.
The last one.
Last one for this section.
Cleaning and sanitizing all food contact surface area needs to happen when?
A.
Thank you, producer. Great friend, Mr. Webb, for keeping me going. When? Cleaning and sanitizing of food contact surface areas needs to happen when? When should you be doing this? A, every 4 hours. B, before you start prepping a different food. C, as food is being prepped, you sometimes have to clean it. And when work has stopped and food may have been contaminated. Or E, all of the above.
Ding, 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 ding.
Ready? All of the above.
That's a wrap.
Wow.
Good
Well,
section.
That's what I want y'all to do now is I just wanted to let you know that Mr. John Webb got those all correct. They call him Aces when he went to high school.
No, they don't.
They called him the Ace Man. Any
they
closing words about food handling in the wonderful world of, I wanted to do this last time. I did it pretty good. Watch. Family and consumer sciences. Family and consumer sciences. John, get your elbows off the table. This ain't no horse's stable, but a respectable dining room table. Feet on the floor, back straight, never bow over your plate. This is Family and Consumer Science Television Food Handling Part 1. Please check out Food Handling Part 2.
Hold on. Yep, I'm smelling it.
Yeah, we're done. We're done, but make sure you got everything filled out. Bring it up here, give it to me, and we will have happy knowledge in the world of family.
On to test number 2. Quiz.
Woo-hoo.
Survey.
What's a nice way of saying
It's a
it?
safety
Knowledge building?
survey.
Knowledge building.
You must pass the safety survey.
You do have to pass a safety survey to cook, and these are ones you need. So we're right on
Very
it.
good.
Thank you, John. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Family and consumer science.
Mr. Greenland's podcast.
Let's learn facts.
Feet on the floor, back straight, never bow to your plate. Chew with your mouth closed, chew with your mouth closed. Get your elbows off the table. This ain't a horse.